Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the News at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos and Abuja. A reminder of our main stories. Nigeria celebrates 100 years of existence. President Goodluck Jonathan upbeat about the unity of the country. World leaders join Nigeria in centenary celebrations, agree to fight terror. The extremist Boko Haram sect attacked 3 villages in Adamawa State, killing 6 people, burned down 2 banks and a police station, and Egypt's court sentences 26 people to death for founding a terror group. Alright, just a quick reminder to you that all our top stories are on our website, ChannelsTv.com, and on YouTube.com/ChannelsWeb. To get us on the move, please visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. Of course, you can also interact with the channel's Eyewitness feature on our Android and Windows 8 platforms. So if you have pictures or videos to share with us, tap on the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and then follow the instructions to share your reports, pictures and videos. Well, here are just some of the Eyewitness reports that we received. You should see them soon. From Bida, Niger State, came this picture showing some members of the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnic who are currently on strike over what they call discrimination against polytechnics. All right, here's another one from Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. It tells it all. No power supply for the residents of Umaru Musa Yaradua Road, forcing them to patronize commercial phone chargers. It's a tough one for them there. We'd like to thank you for your Eyewitness reports and to encourage you to please keep them coming. Now, stamping out terrorism may have been high on the agenda in Abuja today, but the sect members have struck again. Barely 2 days after members of the Boko Haram sect killed about 29 students in Yobe, northeast Nigeria, the sect members have unleashed terror, this time in Adamawa State, also in the northeast, leaving 6 people dead. An eyewitness who spoke to us via telephone but asked not to be identified said the terrorists made their way through a town called Kichiga in a convoy of over 50 vehicles on their way to Shua community of Madagali local government area. In addition to this, 2 banks and the main police station in the town were razed.
Around 7 to 8 o'clock p.m. yesterday night, we were just at the frontage of our house like that, so we had a group of people with ambush car like that, many, in the total number of almost 50 cars and 20 motorcycles. So they came into our area, which is Kritina, and they spent some minutes waiting for their people, and from there they decided to migrate into a road that links Kritina to Shiva in Madagascar local government. So on their way to Shiva, they killed almost 9 people before they reached Shiva main town. From there they proceed into an area where being dominated by most of the Christians. They burned down the one school which by name St. Joseph Minor Seminary School, and as they went there, the students got an information and they left the hostel immediately. They burned one of the Catholic church in Kritina and one of the Methodist church. They burnt it down, and again they put one primary school. They killed 2 people in that primary school area at that time, but in the church they could not be able to kill any.
Meanwhile, military authorities in Abuja say they're adopting a new approach to contain the activities of the terrorists through a renewed counterterrorism campaign. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, the Director, Defense Information, Major General Chris Olukolade, says by embarking on renewed attacks on soft targets, the terrorists are simply out to intimidate people. The defense spokesman then appealed to residents of the northeast to report any unusual movement to security agents.
The new approach marks another phase in the operations which are designed to further contain the terrorists and their activities. The specialized campaign, which commenced recently, is being undertaken simultaneously in Yobe, Borno, and Adamawa states. The operation is also in furtherance of efforts at apprehending the terrorists and ensuring that they do not escape out of Nigeria, as they are now so desperate to do. Unfortunately, however, they have, in the course of their flight towards various borders, continues to perpetrate mayhem, as noticed in some parts of Adamawa yesterday night, where they attacked communities. In their desperation for money and food, they looted and burnt banks, shops, and filling stations along their way through Michika as they headed towards the Cameroon border. In the process of engaging them, 6 of their fighters were killed, while their vehicles were destroyed. Of course, we also lost a soldier, 3 civilians, who died in the course of the encounter.
Well, we should focus now from security. Let's take a look at some legal matters. The National Judicial Council, under the chairmanship of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Mariam Alama Mokhtar, has recommended the compulsory retirement from office of Justice Gladys Olotu of the Federal High Court and Justice U.A. Iyan of the High Court of Justice of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, for gross misconduct. The Acting Director of Information of the Council, Sojoye, says Justice Gladys Olotu was recommended for compulsory retirement to President Goodluck Jonathan on the ground that she, among other offences, failed to deliver judgment in a suit 18 months after the final address by the Council in the suit, contrary to the constitutional provisions that judgment should be delivered within a period of 90 days. Well, Justice U.J. Iyan was also recommended for compulsory retirement for including in his judgment references to garnish proceedings, which came after the judgment had been delivered on December the 20th, 2011. The Council also issued warning letters to Justice Dalhatu Adamu, the presiding Justice of the Court of Appeal Kaduna Division, Justice A.A. Adeleye of the High Court of Justice Ekiti State, and Justice D.O. Amechina of the High Court of Justice Anambra State, all for misconduct. Well, the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission says it will not commence investigations into the case of alleged unlimited oil funds by the NNPC unless the National Assembly has completed their own investigation on the matter. While defending the Commission's 2014 budget before the Senate Committee on Drugs, Narcotics and Financial Crimes, Mr. Ibrahim Lamode noted that investigating NNPC at a time when the National Assembly is doing the same would amount to duplication of functions. But the chairman of the committee, Senator Victor La, disagreed with the EFCC chairman, saying the investigations by the National Assembly should not stop the EFCC from beginning its own proceedings. In the meantime, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, that's the NNPC, has reacted to what it describes as a campaign of calumny being orchestrated to tarnish its reputation. It was referring to a presentation made by the Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative before the Joint House Committee probing the Burns Declaration report alleging massive fraud in oil deals. The corporation's acting group general manager, Public Affairs Division, Omar Farouk Ibrahim, said the presentation made by NATI's executive secretary, Hajja Zainab Ibrahim, had been deliberately distorted. According to Dr. Ibrahim, quote, some of the reports had sensational headlines alleging that NATI had uncovered fresh unlimited $22.8 billion oil revenue by the NNPC. However, the body of the story was totally different from the headlines in terms of message and content, end of quote. He added that nowhere in the NATI report was such an allegation made and that there is a conspiracy by some groups or individuals to drag down the name of the corporation. The Ilaja community in the Owoshope area of Lagos State is tense following the killing of several people over what the police describe as a land and chieftaincy dispute. Well, this has led to a number of strange deaths and disappearances, a situation that requires an urgent solution. Now, on our big story tonight, our correspondent Adeshara Josh looks at the plight of the people.
Indomie instant noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Shanties, children walking without shoes, hardly any visible sign of social amenities. All of these characterize the Ilaje Bute and Ilaje Bariga community. In the midst of this is the burden of a couple of unresolved murder cases in which some people in the community believes was carried out by hoodlums in the area. One of such is the murder of the leader of a homegrown gang, popularly known as Shaggy, who was killed for allegedly testifying against the Bale, the community leader of the Ilaje Bariga, Eyewitness, in the murder case in court. While investigating this matter, we met this young man called Abiodun, one of the followers of the murdered gang leader Shaggy. He claims the Bale is the real reason why the community is in chaos.
There's a man called James who has a C of O to a rapidly developing portion of the area. The Bale requested for the C of O for Mr. James, but he refused. The Bale then ordered him killed. He collects our land. Right now we have people living under the bridge. We are suffering.
He's not exaggerating their standard of living. This is where they call home, under the popular Third Mainland Bridge. Every time you drive on this bridge, someone right under the pavement feels the rhythm. The vast expanse of water is what they have taken advantage of. It might look dangerous to you, but this is how they survive. Not giving up on this community. Evidently, the youth here must work double hard to earn a better future.
This is a UNICEF-donated classroom for this community. We came in here a little bit late because all the children plus the teachers have all gone home. But Simone right behind me is the only child studying hard for hopefully a future he hopes to get.
The residents claim their situation is not for lack of voting for the right candidate. They say as soon as their votes are counted, no one cares again if they exist.
Elections are coming. We will be asked to vote. They will promise heaven and earth, but as soon as we vote, we'll never get to see them again.
In the meantime, the police boss in Lagos, Umar Manko, says the police is not unaware of the crisis in the area, including the murder cases. He also made mention of a certain Ibrahim Balogun in connection with the crisis.
What we see now is attack and counter-attack. The Balogun Ibrahim mentioned has been charged to court on several occasions by the police. And just as surprised as anybody is, we are also surprised that he found his way out. As I'm talking to you now, we are searching for him after the last attack. I will not be able to get him, but in no time we'll catch up with him.
The Bale of Ilaje Bariga, Eyewitness, could not grant an interview on camera, but he denied all the allegations levied against him. He is due to appear in court on March the 4th, where the court will decide whether or not he is guilty. Until then, the murder cases in the Ilaje Bariga community remains a puzzle. For the big story, Adeshara Josh, Channels Television News.
Indomie instant noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Now, when the news at 10 returns, the Bureau for Public Enterprises stresses adherence to the Procurement Act. But that's